50 Cent just tweeted a video showing Gan Ray deal on his Instagram exposing one of Diddy's rumored boyfriends, everyone who he secretly dated and had sex with. Relationships with his being exposed, and you are not going to believe some of the names in this list.
I opened the door, and the dude said, "Yo, I'm here for my cousin." I said, "Who your cousin?" And he said, "Ja Rule." I said, "Well, he busy right now." He said, "He busy doing what?" I said, "He with Puff. They're in the room. They busy. They don't want to be bothered." He said, "Well, I'm going in there." I said, "Bro, you ain't going in there because he told me they don't want nobody to be bothered him." He tried to bum rush me. I grabbed him and threw him against the piano. When I threw him into the piano, Puff and Ja Rule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked. And so then Ja was like, "Yo, what's going on? Yo, Jay, that's my cousin." He know me well, and Puff was like, "Yo, Jay, what happened?" I said, "He tried to get in the room. I told him he couldn't get in the room." And he was like, Puff looked at Ja. He said, "Yo," Ja said, "You ain't want to go in that room because there's a lot of freaking going on."
Gene Deal is referring to the Ja Rule and how Diddy and spending alone time with him locked in the room, the beginning of. But the story gets even wilder, and it still manages to doesn't compare to why Diddy was actually do this. Everything that Diddy does has a reason for being there, and even the fact that he was caught with Ja in this an embarrassing situation was planned. Now, in case you wonder what they were, you can get an idea of what is actually going on inside by. Better still, Jean made it sound a lot better when she said it.
So when we went to the door, they gave him a brown paper bag. So I guess this is a place that he was used to and people knew him there. So when they gave him a brown paper bag, Puff was just going around the store, just picking items off the shelves and stuff like that, putting them in a brown paper bag. So then, I was behind him and, no Diddy, but I was about 3 feet behind him, you know what I'm saying, as he was putting stuff and putting it in his bag and stuff like that. So this one particular place that he was put up there, he had to reach up kind of high and get it. So he just started pulling things out, and he was pulling a lot of them off there. So I was like so I looked up, and the thing said butt plugs. When he walking down the things of butt plugs, I said, "Hey, yo," just to mess with him. I said, "Hey, yo, what are you getting these for?" And he said, Can I do my shopping by myself?" I said, "Yes, you can." And I waited up at the register for him, because they had the big counter up there. So when he came to the counter, I said, "Yo, I'm finna see what this this mofo is putting in his bag, because I know he gonna have to take everything and put it on the counter so the dude could count it, right?" My man, when he came there, he gave the dude a wad of hundreds like this. So he gave him a wad of 100 and just put it up there. The dude ain't even, you know what I'm saying? He ain't even want to know what was in the bag. I was like, yo.
You heard that right. Diddy has some adult entertainment for Ja, and this wasn't even a new occurrence. It was something that Diddy was doing on the regular. The guy at the counter knew what it meant, what Diddy was getting, and he acted on it. This was normal. Interestingly, this can only prove what I said earlier. This refers Diddy was going to be caught, and that relates to the question of why he even wanted Ja in the first place.
And this whole time him and Ja is talking, he talking about Ja going at Jigga. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. But he was talking about Ja getting at Jay-Z. And he was talking bad and talking crazy about Jay-Z, and how Ja was talking about if it wasn't for him, that Jay wouldn't be the artist he was. He got him started. He wrote certain things and stuff like that to put him out there. Cause, back in the day, nobody was even effing with Jay like that. So, but Puff was he was adamant about Ja going at Jay. You understand? So, we get to the hotel, we're in the presidential suite and all this stuff like that.
Diddy wanted to use Ja as a pawn against Jay-Z in this freak-off party. The protest was simply the way for him to gain leverage on Ja. Even Ja was confused by what was going on in the room, Jean continued and showed that there were 2 women are there with Diddy and Ja. And one of them was actually Diddy's baby mama, Sarah Chapman. Diddy picked her especially to be there when she was a woman Tupac dated before Diddy circa 1995-6 and disrespect him.
Him and Diddy was doing, something. And like I said that they was doing something. I don't know what the F they were doing, bruh. The only reason I know was some freaky things going up in there that Ja really didn't even understand, because he said, yo, you ain't want to be up in there because there's a whole lot of freaky going on. So I was like, I wouldn't have known nothing. I wouldn't even cared. And I don't care today. But you know how the internet is. They cut and paste what they want to paste, and they put what they want to put to make it seem like I was saying this dude and Puff was in there, alone, and they wasn't. You understand? And that was them. They did their thing, up in there with the honeys in there. I guess. I can only guess. So, listen, bro. I've said this 1,000 times. It was Sarah Chapman and her girlfriend. Now, Sarah Chapman, if people don't know who she is, now she's one of Puff baby mamas. But prior to her being one of Puff baby mama, this is the same girl that was dating Puff best friend, Corey Jacobs, and she was dating Tupac. Whatever they did, that's on them. But that's the kind of games Puff play in order to get people to do what he want him to do. You understand? He got them, he wanted Ja to go at Jay-Z, so he got these chicks to go at Ja. You understand what I'm saying? Whether he did it or fell into it, I don't know. Cause I don't know him and Jay-Z beef or why they was beefing in the first place or whatever the situation was. People who are close to either one of them may know more than I do on that. But I knew Puff was working to get Ja to go at Jay, and that was happening on that particular day.
And ever since Gene Peterson revealed the story, Ja started laying low. The academics were responsive to Ja being exposed and shared stories about how Diddy was probably using this incident to try and control Ja. Ja Rule even responded to the Diddy documentary himself via Twitter. His postings on this platform include, "Let's be real, 50D gaff about the victims. We all know why he did the doc." Ja tweeted, "Look what these two are doing. Long-standing beef."
This Diddy letting a lot of people know. This was wilding and freaking and getting up in the 90s until they realized that, hold up, wait, there's no statute of limit. I'm serious.
Yeah, no, you're right.
A lot of them niggas was getting in the freak on. Listen, yo, there's been a couple names mentioned that we ain't seen them since. Everybody lay low. It's like everybody ducking. We ain't get another brunch forever. No more brunches. Ever since Gene Deal said that Ja Rule came out of the joint with a towel, I ain't seen Ja since. What does Ja Rule think now? And Ja's my man, but still, what does he think?
Yeah, I feel you.
And he shouldn't say nothing, right? He shouldn't say nothing, like, because we're in the time that when these moments happen, anything you say makes you look more guiltier. Be like, oh, how many parties that? Like, you don't even want to be down to answer the questions. And you can't also even say, because I do think this is a legit answer for some of these people. Truth be told, that type of parties was what was happening at the time. People are going to take that answer to be, oh, so all y'all were doing it. So all y'all were doing exactly what Diddy did. So again, you can't say nothing about
the second person to be identified with having a relationship with Diddy is not one apart from Meek Mills. It could very well be argued that holding have been 50 Cent. Diddy actually invited 50 Cent out shopping on a Saturday afternoon. Another reason I admire Vanessa Hudgens' date with him, but 50 said no. After 50 refused, Diddy said the same thing too. Meek, I'm going to let 50 respond to what happened next.
Got close when he offered to take you shopping.
Yeah, you see, now Meek is in the same shirt. He's out there in the same shirt. This is not Photoshop. This is really happening. I'm just saying to you. No, stop it, man. You set that up. Look, you set that up. He's in the same shirt.
What do you mean he's in the same shirt?
Obviously was not offended by what I was offended by. This is what I'm saying, bro. Like you go, I'm like, nah, it was odd. Like, this is some of the things that people say. Like, girls, guys may say to a girl, you know, like, let me take a shot. See?
Damn.
They found it that quick.
What do you think's happening in the middle?
I don't know what is going on.
Wow,
there.
they found Kendrick and Wifey.
You can't dress up Kendrick like that. Oh, you can't dress him up like that.
No, it's jokes.
That's like the White Chicks movie, bro. You can't do that.
Yeah, that was comedy. That was good.
Yeah, but that
you
was,
get away with Wifey.
you know, that's obviously doing chopping. They got the same outfit.
Yeah, it's true.
Meek has been denying the allegations ever since they first came out, but not one can disregard the fact that he demonstrated up wearing matching outfits with Diddy. What's even crazier is that unlike the incident involving Ja, Meek allegedly bought his adult entertainment himself. Meek indeed was caught exposing himself after this happened.
So then, you know, you go on his Twitter page, you click on his likes, bro. You see things that he's liking. That's questionable. Would you come up in here with a matching shirt with me?
Hell no.
Hell no. Ace, would you pop out with a matching shirt with me, bro? Style. Put that on something. You gonna pop out with? No, boy, it's not going like that, bro. Would you let me call you daddy?
Hell no.
No, bro. I've been saying this for years. I say, man, these boys strange, bro. The things they into is strange. I've seen so much. I've seen a lot, bro. So like with him, look how he responded to the situation. Not one time did he come out and say these things are a lie. Did you see that?
Yep.
He didn't say that.
He didn't deny it.
No, he didn't deny nothing. Because if he deny it, what's finna come out? Footage.
You think Diddy has footage on Meek?
For sure. He got cameras through his whole crib.
The more Meek tries to get away from Diddy doesn't know when to stop getting closer. Because, pulled back in November of last year, a video was released by Meek even to distance himself publicly from Diddy. No Diddy gang, all of this made Meek look even more suspicious. Meek has been tweeting about Diddy since the second his name came up. Other celebrities who are known include many who weren't mentioned by. We're as paranoid as Meek is. Meek doing all this because he is missing in this something to hide.
Meek Mill had a video recently. He was walking around someplace and he said no Diddy.
Yeah, nigga. No Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me. You heard that Meek? Yeah, Meek.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you saw that?
No, I seen it.
Yeah, I mean, look, you can't really no Diddy your way out of that photo. You got the matching outfit with Puffy. You can't no Diddy your way out of that. But I guess it's a little disappointing is that it seemed like Meek Mill was an actual friend.
There's no friends in the industry, Vlad.
But it seemed like they were actually had a relationship.
It's no friends in the industry, Vlad. There ain't no friends in the industry. I think a lot of people, you see all the silence we hearing now? I think Ray J kind of said, even though Ray J's kind of going a little cuckoo recently. Love him. But here's there's a lot of people silent. And there's three reasons. One, they got some skeleton in their closet. They're like, let me not jump in because I don't want them to look at me. Two, some of them was at these parties and they may have freaked off a couple girls with Diddy.
Yeah.
And
or guys.
Yeah, or guys. Right? And the third version is literally them trying to figure out like, I don't want to be against this guy if he beats it. So everybody's been watching it. So they're watching it and they'll be like, psst.
Now Meek can't do anything to not be attached to Diddy. The fact that the only thing he keeps talking about is Diddy about probably doesn't help either. Meek Mill claims someone is running a smear campaign against him and trying to associate his name with Diddy. According to he feels others only wish to tear down black rappers and he's going to find out who is behind everything. Meek tweeted saying, I want to hire an investigative team, $100K in cash to learn everything. Some specific detail involving Meek Mill aim to the case of Diddy. I also want them to look at who is powering the media involving Meek. Anything to do with Buddy. Something not right.
His name being brought up alongside allegations of drug use. with underage girls. He has claimed online that his success in the industry, as well as his work to reform the criminal justice system, has made him a target. And Meek Mill is very active on X, formerly Twitter. He has voiced his thoughts about the lawsuit as well as the rumors. In September, he tweeted, quote, "From the streets of Philly to becoming a millionaire, to helping reform the system, to bridging a gap of billionaires, to interacting with the rap culture that results in success. It's a lot of people hating on me on the low. They don't play with guns, they do campaigns." And he also tweeted several times about the rumors surrounding his sexuality. For example, one tweet reads, "I have the right to say I ain't gay, and I'll trash anybody that play with my manhood, LOL." Then earlier this week, he put an offer on the table, a $100,000 reward for anyone who can figure out how he got named in Rodney Jones' lawsuit in the first place. He tweeted, "I want to hire an investigative team, $100K cash, to find out every specific detail involving Meek Mill name to Diddy case. I also want them to look at who is powering the media involving Meek, anything to do with Buddy." And then in quotes, "something not right." And then he followed that up minutes later with, "The streets know what's up with me. That's not the case. We talking about business side, somebody powering these bad campaigns with Meek Mill. Again, I got $100K for a thorough investigation of what's powering and how exactly my name connect to this."
And then we have, likely the only individual who truly is in love with Diddy and does not deny this fact, that there had been actual sexual contact between them and Diddy. Kirk Burrows. Gene Deal thinks that Diddy and Kirk, in this case, were actually lovers in secret, and the reason Kirk Hamilton chose to appear in the documentary is because he's mad at Diddy for not being faithful.
They didn't talk about this. He used to do the building, Daddy's house, whereas that unsigned rappers, unsigned artists would rap at this place, and it was called the building on Monday nights. Then he would do the Red Zone on Wednesday. I would have to go with him and make sure that he was all right and take the money to Kirk Burrows' house after the Red Zone. But I didn't think nothing at the time. At that time, I didn't think nothing of it, that he was spending the night with Kirk Burrows either every Wednesday night. He got a whole girl at home, but he's spending the night with Kirk Burrows. He's staying at Kirk's house. Like, yo, all right, cool. Didn't think nothing of it. And then Kirk had made a mention to some people over the years that him and Puff used to wake up and pray together. And I'm, in my mind, I know he's talking about saying prayers and all that shit like that. But in my other mind, I'm thinking you waking up with a dude praying? What's going on? Then there was a situation that somebody said long time ago in the office. They caught Kirk giving Puff a Gio in the office. Now that was the rumor that was going around. How true it is? They was lovers. It came out in his lawsuit. He tried to say that Puff was, what he said, actually a him.
Gene described witnessing Kirk's behavior around Diddy, including claims they were sleeping together openly. According to Gene, neither tried to hide it. He said Kirk was deeply in love with Diddy, which may explain why Kirk later signed over his bad boy ownership stake to him personally at time.
Somebody you, how you letting him come stay at your house every Wednesday night? After the club? I think they were boyfriends, you know. I think, my honest opinion, I think Kirk was in love with Puff to a certain degree. And Puff was using him. And Kirk was giving up the bugina to him. anything Puff asked him to do, he would do. You know, he'd go at people, he'd talk. Kirk could talk to you on the behalf of Puff. And I believe that was his man to a certain degree in his mind. And the way he was saying shit on that documentary, you could feel that they had a relationship.
The most shocking allegation names an unexpected figure, Diddy's mother. Reports claim he had an inappropriate relationship with her, a claim that stunned observers who never anticipated accusations.
And do you remember this, bro? Check it out. People tell off on themselves so much, man, and I don't understand when people don't catch it. Diddy has said this. He said, when I give a party, I have to have an ambulance outside of the house. Paramedics ready. That people have to take IVs. Remember the time that him and his mama kissed each other on the lips?
Yeah, I remember that video.
Do you remember that both of them was getting an IV at the same time?
Yeah, I did notice that, yep.
That's from the Diddy Freak Off party. And I'm going to say allegedly.
So let me ask you this. You knowing her at one point, you knowing her personally, is she the kind of person that, you know, will be a part of a freak off or no?
I think that she liked to party and she partied with young people. She's always been like that. She always copied or emulated Little Kim and Mary J. Blige. Or they emulated her. The blonde hair, the nails, the high boots, the age-appropriate, inappropriate clothing.
After Diddy's father died, his mother reportedly told him he was now the man of the house. According to several childhood friends, boundaries later became inappropriate. Gene Deal claimed he suspected more existed between Diddy and his mother than publicly acknowledged. Reports say she knew about the freak-offs and regularly attended parties. Gene said he saw her present and observed Diddy's behavior toward her. He alleged Janice influenced and taught Diddy patterns that later defined those events. These accounts, while disputed, fueled ongoing speculation and raised disturbing questions about family dynamics, power, and accountability within Diddy's private world over many years as more insiders continued sharing their stories.
I said Diddy mother might be the originator of the freak-offs. All right, so tomorrow Peacock is dropping. According to the Rolling Stone, the doc features an alleged childhood friend of Puff's, hip-hop producer Tim Dog Patterson. He alleged that Janice, Diddy's mom, would often throw parties at Diddy's childhood home. He says that during the parties, it wasn't uncommon to walk into rooms where adults was having sex. I mean, that was just their normal. And the doc, when talking about the parties, Tim says verbatim, that's what we were privy to. This was what we were fed. Was it desensitizing us?
She is bad boy. You think it's Diddy. It's Janice Combs. Janice Combs is bad boy. Man. You don't actually sign to Diddy. His name is on a dotted line, but you actually sign it to Janice Combs.
Did he ever tell you why that is, or do you understand?
Oh, now that I'm older, I know exactly what it is. It's a paper trail, so nothing can come bite me. If you come for me, you ain't coming for me. I ain't got nothing. You going to my mama.
One conclusion stands out. Had Diddy received a truly fair trial, the sentence may have been longer. Reports claim one juror was a fan, raising doubts about impartiality. Separating celebrity admiration from serious allegations is difficult, and that concern alone casts significant doubt on how objectively the case was judged during deliberations, verdict discussions, and perceptions formed throughout the highly publicized proceedings that followed media coverage.
Juror 106, that goofy black cheat, they sitting there, and when they ask about him making eye contact, or about him looking at the jury, they both lied. In my opinion, they both lied. The way when it asked, well, did he ever make eye contact? No. Well, see, they gave instructions and said, you can't look at him. But the girl sat there and was talking about how he would look over at the jury because he forgot where he was, and how, you know, sometimes he would nod and do this. But you said that he never looked over at the jury. You said that you never made eye contact with him. And then she starts talking about, yeah, because I just think that he nods back and forth because he always used to do that. If you were never a fan of him, if you were only a fan of the artist, and you were never a fan of him, and you were never paying, like, and then the way they were able to edit in him nodding back and forth during making the band and all of that, like, it's just kind of wild to me that nobody is seeing exactly how compromised these jurors.
This story goes beyond a single documentary or exposed relationship. It shows how power, fame, and silence allowed misconduct to persist for years, and how uncomfortable truth becomes once people stop looking away. As more insiders speak, the narrative keeps evolving. To stay updated on every development, subscribe, like the video, and enable notifications so you never miss what happens next. Your support helps the channel continue investigating difficult stories responsibly with care and persistence.